The only thing more boring than block sanding is watching someone block sand. So I'm not going to
There you go.
bore everybody with that to death and stuff like that. And then and Turbo Tom's here. The electric go-kart 2.23, whatever it is now, after it's tried to mangle itself apart. Reinforcements for the axle support for the motor. That'll hopefully get done this week. And then that's about all I got going on besides, Christmas lights and all that kind of stuff. That's all on my wife's channel. We don't need to see that in mine. And ASO's here, Blaine's here, so we got people rolling in.
For sure.
So did you end up changing anything on your car yet from stuff we talked about last week, Dylan?
No, not yet. I'm waiting on the money to come in so I can buy parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What money? What's that?
Right now, it's hard to get, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm even getting some sponsorships on YouTube. And, they do hound me about where's the video, but then it's one of those where, okay, video's out. When do I get my money?
Yeah. Yeah,
Go ahead, Dylan.
I'd have to be a really big channel for the parts that I want.
Well, that's just it. What I've found is I've got some companies, which I don't have the banner in here now, but I'll just plug them, lugnutguys.com. Those guys are excellent. I asked for some advice about some parts for the van, and they said, well, what's your channel? I told them I had a YouTube channel, and they looked it up, got back to me. They sent me all the parts I needed for free, told me they would send me whatever I needed as long as I would hang my banner on my shop. Well, I don't have a shop. So at some point, I'll hang the banner in the shop, but I'll just plug them because they're awesome.
Yeah. Eventually. It's all on the list, right?
I'll just tape it to the side of the van whenever I'm working on it.
Yeah. Free advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. What I get is, because I've done product videos for various Chinese-based companies.
Oh, yeah. They always want me to do that. And I'm like, well, if you want to send me something, fine. But I'm...
Well, I got it to the point where if you want to send me something, minimum value is $200. Okay. That'll get you a 3-4 minute video. And last month I did pretty good with them. I got some stuff that it was about $150 for each item, but did that. And plus the little I make off of YouTube and a little bit from merch and a little bit off Amazon links and stuff like that. So I didn't do too bad, really.
Yeah. Now Amazon's trickling a little bit into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, why the limit on value? I'm just curious.
Because if you do every offer that comes your way, they will want you to do a video for a $3 head massager.
Fair. I guess that's true.
Well, and the other issue for me is they always have these big demands. They want so many minutes long video. They want to be in the title, in the description. They want it shared on all your social media pages, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And in return, they want to give you a free Chinese tool. And the way I look at it is, no, I don't think so. So some of them that I have no use for, like I don't have any modern, real modern vehicles. So they're like, we want to send you our newest Chinese 10-inch screen for your vehicle. Well, I don't have anything that would really fit in. So I basically just say, if you want to send it to me, send it to me. I'll sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I don't care. But, then I've got ones like Oxbeam. That guy is awesome. They're going to give me a decent amount of money to mount this 52-inch light bar on the front of something.
I had them. I made a video about Oxbeam, I believe.
Yep.
And I made one sale out of it, and I don't think I ever got the money.
Well, see, that's one of those where they always want to offer you that
commission.
Yeah. And I said, don't even bother. And they always send it, but I said, don't even bother. Just give me the money up front. I'll mention your name, and there we go.
It helped sell my scrapped out Civic because that's what I put the headlights in. And I mean, I put that Civic in a ditch, like wrecked it.
Yep.
And I did get $3 out of it, and it helped sell it after I blew it up. So
No, but I just started doing that. I go, well, yeah, your product looks okay. But the item's got to be a $200 minimum for me to do it without you paying any commission. And sometimes they'll send me, they'll upgrade me. They'll go, hey, what about this? Okay, great.
leave $5 in there.
Yeah. And other ones are
I need
stuff
$5
I can't use, like you were saying, Buff. I mean, I had this lift company. They're like, hey, can you do a video on these, leveling kit for a Dodge 1500? I'm like, well, no.
Right.
I could sit here and show people parts and before and after pictures off the internet, but I can't.
Right. I drove that 2023 F-150 just for a short time because it was a rental. Mm-hmm. And now I get a lot of offers for headlights, taillights, all that from an F-150. And it's like, I'm never going to buy one. So it does me no good for you to send it to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I get a lot of those LED headlights, taillights, that kind of thing. And the only vehicle that really works is the GTP. And so I threw some headlights in that one. And they were brighter. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up, because the headlight and turn signals were so brittle, ended up cracking them trying to take them out.
Yeah, they're just that plastic just gets brittle.
Yep. Just removing the bolts was enough to crack them.
Hey.
What's going on, bud?
What's happening?
There he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jay made the poster, and I didn't make the poster.
Is it echoing?
No.
You're good.
Because it's going through my sound system in here. If you don't know, it's like what most people use on stage. So nice. I just want to make sure I put my headphones on or whatever. But I'm out in the shop because I can fit in here now.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's actually
that's a plus.
Practicing.
And you have heat.
Yeah. And I have heat. It is just hot as hell in here. I'd open the door. What's that?
Santa bring your room, or you just got rid of a bunch of shit?
You know them totes you can put on the side of your driveway that the guardsman comes and puts in? I filled 4 of those. I had to bring 2 of them in myself. They got tired of coming out here. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was bad. It was just because I'm in such a hurry with everything. I get out of the truck and I come here and I'll literally go to the door and like, okay, I use that wrench, but I got to hurry. So I'll literally throw the wrench towards the toolbox and walk back outside. And now I've actually got my toolbox all, it's organized, but not the best, but it's organized. But yeah.
So what's the space going to be for now?
Well, I was going to build engines. But yesterday or this past weekend, I had 2 engines that were junk. Started one with Zeppy. The video will come out this Friday. It's done. It's got to get finalized stuff. But a 350 Chevy was garbage that I bought off of Facebook, and a 402 was garbage that a buddy of mine gave to me out of his 72.
Well, at least you were given the one. That 350 was bad. Yeah.
That's the 402.
Yeah, no, at least you were given that. You don't have a lot of money in it.
How?
Yeah.
There was so much corrosion between the skirt and the cylinder. Stock piston, by the way. There was so much corrosion it built up, it pushed through the cylinder wall.
Oh, it just ate through? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was gone. I've already took it to the backyard and just threw it next to a tree. Had 2 cylinders that way. The inside of it, though, if you watch the video when it comes out, the inside of it looks like it was just freshly tanked. The thing looks brand new. My guess is whoever out in Oklahoma had it, they in-framed it, really, because they didn't paint it, nothing. I'm guessing these old schooler just in-framed it and he didn't get everything right, and it had 2 bent push rods, but lifters looked brand new. The inside of the motor had brand new head gaskets. This thing looked great. And then they gave up on it. And then my buddy, his mom bought it for him, brought it home from Oklahoma, and he never touched it. He just let it sit out in the field row with the hood open. And I don't know if I don't know much more than that, but I told him about it. And boy, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have gave you," because I went out there and helped him take it out and all that.
You're like, "Oh, cool, score it. Score for us."
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's a hell of a video. Buff's seen parts of what it's.
Yep.
I'm angered, not at my buddy for the motor. I'm angered at what happens to me trying to take this thing apart.
It's going to be nothing short of entertainment.
The first part of it's all me and Zeppelin tearing apart a 350.
Right.
He gets her all the way down to where we see the cylinder walls, and it's like, yeah, no, they're done. And it's already 60 over, so there's no – I'm not going any deeper than that. That's not worth it. Sucks it's a 4-bolt main, too. But
You could probably sleeve it.
huh?
You could probably sleeve it.
Yeah, but I could find another – I could give
Yeah.
$300-$400 for another one that's, do my regular build on it, but for what I would cost to sleeve it around here, we only got one shop.
Ooh.
So
one shop and he knows it. Yeah.
They got that corner. Otherwise I would. Hell, I don't know if you've seen my engine builds, but I'll just take a damn stone hone, scratch it up, and then run the ball through it, and I'll stick it right back together because I'm not racing the thing. Like if you guys you're racing your car, I couldn't. I mean, I have built stuff like that, but for what I do here, we just like to put them together and drive them. So
Yeah, understand that.
I still might. That 350's back here on the stand. It's right there. And I still might take her down, that one cylinder, take it down and just hone the crap out of it and just stick her back together. Because other than that one cylinder, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just leave the rod and piston out and you get a 7-cylinder.
just extra burnout car engine.
Yep.
She smokes, who cares? Nobody's going to know because they see all the tires smoke. Until
Right.
the engine locks up. But I'm actually am going to do a live today too. I was thinking about it all day because I was home. I got one scheduled for later.
Awesome.
I'm kind of like Buff. I don't have time anymore. When I leave in my truck, I'll leave at 6, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting home at 9 at night.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah.
Understand that.
yeah, I don't really have time to. I don't have time to do it anymore. And I'm same thing as Buff. I got all these companies want me to give away stuff in my lives.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sending me, you can give this away, give this away. And I'm like, okay, when do I have time to set all that up?
Right.
The Chinese companies send me all the stuff, and I'm like, well, you can send it to me. I'll try it. And I had one wanting to send me a welder, but they wanted to send me that little thing. And I said, that ain't going to do me no good. I can't test that for you.
Nope.
I need something that can, weld floorboards and
Yeah,
That's
I
what
would,
you're just talking about. It's got to have a minimum value, otherwise it's not worth doing.
well,
Well,
I try to put it to them that you can't send me that little thing, expect me to do a good review of it when I don't have anything to use it on. I don't do it. I'm not a hobby. I'm not even really a welder, but I sure as hell ain't going to be a hobby welder.
Right.
So I ended up buying one. It'll be here Friday.
well, out of
I-
all the things that I've ever been sent, I figured I'd been sent a welder or like fabrication tools, not, ooh, that's cold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or like a saw or something, a grinder, headlights. It's the only thing I've ever been sent.
Well, I had
company.
one of them send me a set of AC gauges and all that to recharge your AC, but of course they sent it, in October, November. So
That's
Yeah.
It works great.
I'll use it because there's going to be AC in the van again, but I'm just not going to do it right now.
Hey,
Oh,
What's
Tony.
What's happening?
going on, guys?
What's happening?
Dr. Art invited me to stop by, so here he is.
Dr. Art, Tony.
We just we're
Buff.
talking about all the crud that the Chinese companies want us to peddle on our channels.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
I love the light companies. I'm like, I don't have anything new enough for the shit you want to
For
send
your
me.
headlights, yeah.
Give me some regular halogen looking bulbs, please.
Some big round 7-inchers. Yeah, I'll take those. Yeah.
We did one of them. I guess it was about 4 years ago or so. It was a what was it? It was a dash cam, and they wanted to send us. They're going to send us a dash cam, and we we're going to shoot a video with it, and then they were going to send a dash cam to a viewer. So in other words, it was supposed to be like a giveaway thing, right? So I says, because they kept bombarding us with like you said, like lights and everything else. So we did this dash cam video, and they wouldn't send to the guy who won it. So we ended up sending the dash cam that they gave us, and that was the last time we tried to do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you guys talking about here?
Talking about cleaning shops and building engines, and Irish is on a tear. He's got room, and he's got remnants of the 402. And
Miscellaneous.
That was number 2 in a 402. That sucker's Well, yeah. There's another one that's almost
I could beat that.
Yeah. This one, but now, after I beat on it enough, I got the pins loose. But I'd say the rings were stuck slightly.
Yeah,
Two cylinders.
The rings are stuck on this one too. I can't get them out.
Yeah. Little melty.
It was more explodey.
Yeah. No, but we just got off on a tangent of, all the bombardment of emails that we get for, make a video of this, make a video of that. Here's a head massager, here's a freaking,
Here's
whatever.
a 20 amp welder.
Yeah, 20 amp welder, yeah.
20 amp welder, and show us how you use it. Sure. Let me get a pop can.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me make a birdhouse out of a couple of Coke cans, and I'll make you a video. Yeah.
The Chinese companies, they're relentless with that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many requests Kathy's in the other room. I mean, we probably get 20 of them a day. It's ludicrous. But we don't even open them anymore.
Yeah, they all go to my Hotmail spam.
Yeah. you gotta give them something. They're determined. You know what I mean? They want their products out there.
Oh yeah. And I love them. They're like, oh, I've been a fan of your channel for a long time subscriber. And
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's been my favorite, is when they send me a specific thing they want me to push for them. They say, what cars do you have? And I said, well, if you've been a long time subscriber, you would know, wouldn't you?
Right.
I've got 11 cars. Pick one.
Hi, my name is Sue. Here's the broken English of what we want you to do.
You just have to always remember that you're talking to a 13-year-old girl in the Wu-Dang of Providence. This is her job,
Right.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah. Send them crap. Make video.
Big American YouTuber.
Yeah. The first time you get that, you're like, oh, you're kind of flattered by it. Then you're like, well, you want to send me a $4 thing of garbage. It's not worth my time to.
Yeah, you're flattered by it until you realize that every single. All you need is like 4 subscribers. You know what I mean? And like 14 views on a video, and they just start sending the stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. See who's popped in here. Busted Radio popped in. JB stopped in. Cover World stopped in. A bunch of folks are popping in.
Speaking of like crazy videos, I did a video about my oil burning stove that I converted my wood stove into, and I'm using it right now. It's awesome.
Okay.
And you know how you got the little tab that says, haven't responded when you look at your comments, and then it said held for review.
Oh yeah.
Like 300 in there, and they're all you talk about Monday morning quarterback, you're going to burn your shit down.
Please.
And how you have it, I'm like, look, I'm standing right next to it. If I will tell you, you don't want to get gas in it. That I had a jet fuel flame going out the top of this stack the other day. I put oil out of my Buick, my GS340 that washed the cylinders. So I put that in there.
Little gas in the oil.
Yeah, I'm standing here looking the opposite way, and my stove's behind me. And all of a sudden, I just felt my back. I was like, what the hell is that? Every crevice, crack you could think of in that thing was flame shooting out of it, and it was going up.
Right.
I opened the doors. I shut the oil off and opened the doors, walked outside, and it was just coming out of the stack. That stack's like 25 feet in the air. I had it did. It looked like a jet was taking off in my garage. Water makes a hell of a sound too when it hits it.
How much oil were you feeding the thing?
But hey, it's warm in here. It's like 80 degrees. All in the damn coffee bowl. That's all it was. I don't even know where the hell I got it at. Right there. Is that right there? Stainless steel. And then you'd appreciate this, Tony. You have to put a ring, and then you have to have something that comes up like this so the flames will come up and around.
Yep.
It's a velocity stack with an Edelbrock air cleaner topper put to it, so it's in there and flames going around. It just says Edelbrock.
Sweet.
I wish I had a glass front because that would even look better, but I don't. But I just used what I had around. Saw blade.
Did you make a video of it?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at that.
That sucker, a buddy of mine, Buff, what's his name? Austin messaged me a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
That video's got almost 8,000 views on it, and it's only been up for just a little while. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess I better go look. And that's when I saw the comments. I was like, yeah, I ain't answering all that crap. But
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
But that's not bad, man. That's not to sneeze at.
It works.
8,000 views on a heater video.
Yep.
I mean, and it came out, Friday, I think?
Right.
And for me, I've only got 5,600, 5,700 subscribers, something like that. And it went well. Whatever works.
Honestly, the sub numbers, it's a vanity number is all it is. There really is no correlation, to like the success of videos or very little correlation to the sub number and what you actually get. I don't get nearly the views. Like I'm getting some stupid number of subs, but I don't get nearly the views that it would indicate on the average video.
That would be nice.
It would be nice.
I'd make a lot more money at it if that was the case.
But there's a lot of channels that just have they'll have 30 or 40,000 subs and they'll get consistently over 200,000 views a video. So it's each. Well, there's the more diverse the channel, the more subs you get, right? So in other words, you'll pick you do something on a heater, okay, and you'll pick up subs who are interested in DIY projects, stuff like that. Then you do the same channel, you do a video on a pickup truck, and it's like the heater people could care less about the pickup truck, and the pickup truck people could care less about the heater. And so the more diverse the channel is, the more subs you get, but it doesn't correlate to views.
Right.
I quit watching the whole sub count and everything. I just stopped because it makes you like, God dang it, what could I do to get this, and this? And it turns out just do whatever the hell you do. And if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Like I said,
I'm doing this for a long time. Subs are just a vanity number. They really don't mean very much. If anything, if there's any correlation at all to sub number and view count, and I know the YouTube algorithm looks for this, right? They want to see approximately 10% of your total view number, or they want to see 10% of your sub number in the first 24 hours you put up a view. So let's say you got 20,000 subs. They want to see 2,000 views in the first 24 hours. And if they see that, then they'll push the video out a little bit further.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, that's really about the only correlation that you can go by.
I was just going through a bunch of my old stuff because I'm trying to make like one short video out of every car that I've built, and there's a bunch. And the one video I keep going back to, and Buff's seen this a million times, the one I beat the hell out of an oil pan. This thing is 55 seconds long, and it's me being a complete jackass, and it has over 350,000 views.
Sweet. And I have the oil pan.
And Buff has the oil pan.
I have the oil pan.
And it's like I still just sit there and go, okay, how could I redo that again so it gets pushed out there? And I did it, but it was on TikTok, and it got banned on TikTok.
Why would they ban it?
The flames.
It's actually Zeppelin, my boy that's behind me. I got a 68 Pontiac ambulance, right? And we was getting ready to do some stuff, and I made this joke, and I'm a musician. I've got, anything you can think of stage-wise. And I got flame pots, okay? They shoot like a 10-foot flame. So I stuck them under the hood like this, or one straight up, one sideways. And I told Zeppelin here, I said, what I want you to do is I want you to say, I'll say, all right, get ready to crank it over. He says, did you check the timing? And I said, we don't have time to check the timing. Let's go. Crank it. So as soon as he cranked it, I blew them some bitches off.
Oh,
and you hear me cuss, and it went huge everywhere. I get on TikTok, and they banned it. They said if I put it back on again, I'd get.
But why would they ban it? I mean, they got the most obnoxious, crazy shit on TikTok.
Yeah, Instagram didn't ban it. Facebook, YouTube.
Yep.
Nobody banned it. TikTok, of all things.
TikTok.
Standards and practices. I was like, what the hell? It had like 300,000 views in 15 minutes. It may be a thing where they're like, oh, no. We're going to end up going to have to pay.
TikTok and standards and practices in the same sentence?
Yeah. It just says that I tried it again, and they hit it again, and they said if you do it again, you'll be banned. Like my channel will be banned off of there. So.
That's crazy.
But it is hilarious.
Can you cut the cuss out of it and then put it back on, or no? Or they just like the flames?
They cut it because of the flames.
Mm.
They said it was dangerous practice.
Did you tell them that it was a spontaneous accident? They'll show cars on fire on TikTok.
Right.
I've seen a zillion electric cars on fire.
Yeah, the electric car fires. Yep.
Fatal crashes.
Burn into the ground.
Yeah, crashes. They see all kinds of things. I don't know.
But that's the only time I've ever had something done like that. So
I've never messed with TikTok, so I have no idea what it's,
I never have either. Buff, have you been on TikTok or no?
I started on it. I've got one that's got. Let me look. It's got a decent amount, but nothing like Jay's. Most of mine are just getting, the regular 300-400 views. I've got one that's got 13.9 thousand views and a couple of 3,000 views. But my daughter, she posted a video on TikTok of my grandson who had a heart transplant and got over 1 million views. Ended up on Good Morning America.
Yeah,
that's a one and done. She's not had any videos take off since.
How's the kid doing?
He's doing great. He's got a different heart now. He's got a donor heart, and he's doing great.
Awesome. How old is he?
Oh gosh, he's over a year now. He's not quite 2 yet.
Awesome. So
he'll never know what went on at that age. When he gets older. Yeah,
you can't even really see a zipper anymore. It's kind of gone now.
Yeah, I was going to say he's so young that it's all going to just kind of meld together.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. So how does TikTok pay?
Well, she didn't get the invite until she hit that $1 million view, and or say million views, and at that point, I don't think it was much of anything. But I assume it's a per click or per view thing. I don't know.
You don't know.
Irish,
Like
how do you getting paid on that?
I don't get paid.
Irish, you get paid on TikTok or no?
No, I don't. The only thing I do, whatever video I'm putting into a short or a Instagram, I just put it over in there.
TikTok
Lop it
all-
over there for fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's more of my personal thing. I can show you this real quick.
Crank it over when I tell you.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, straight.
Up a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
yeah. I thought it was just absolutely hysterical. I can't believe I thought of it, and believe it or not, it didn't do good on YouTube, Instagram. But
I've had that
TikTok,
same thing.
Sucker took off. I mean it. In like 15, 20 minutes, it had some 100,000 views. And
I'll have one
it
take
was
off
gone.
on YouTube or Instagram, do really, really well, and then it flops on TikTok. Or the opposite, it takes off on TikTok and then flops on the other ones. It's just, I guess, a different audience.
Yeah, see,
Well,
the
I can
other
tell
thing-
you, one
Yeah,
thing
of
is Rumble is where all videos go to die. So that's just like a double backup for my computer. It's all I use it for because it's
we played around with just Facebook. You know, we had some videos on there, and they keep like creating these promotions. Oh, do this, and we'll be this, and do that, and we'll do that, and nothing ever pans out. It never pans out. So we just over the last like 3 years, we were just 4 years. Well, 3, yeah. Just strictly YouTube. It's really the only viable, like, you know, if you're doing this and you're trying to make some money with it, it's really the only viable platform right now. I wish there was something else. I wish there was another thing that we could split. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Instagram and that's not like for people like us. That's for like I don't know, name one of these pop stars or like Beyonce or one of these people, you know what I mean, where they get 60 million views and shit like that. At that point, you know, that's the league that you're playing in there. You know what I mean? That's what you're up against. Or what they want to pay. What they want to pay for. Rumble. I don't know about Rumble. I've thought about doing stuff on Rumble, but not car related.
that's be a good place for, like, you know, it'd be a great, it's a good opinion platform if you have a following, because they don't really,
Yeah.
you know, censor so much.
Right.
But
Yeah, they're kind of on a demonetization thing on YouTube right now with a lot of people's speech.
You got to be
A
careful.
lot of people's speech.
yep, it's their playground.
You got to be careful. It's not as bad as it was. You know, if you go back to like, you know, 2020 and the stuff that was happening then, you really had to walk on eggs. Now it's not so bad. It's not so bad. But I'm conscious of it. Anytime we do a video that strays from like the straight and narrow, you know, car thing, it's like I'm always like, oh, I better be careful how I phrase this. I better be careful how I say that. There's this one guy that I watch. It has nothing to do with cars. And what he'll do is when he's going to say something that can be controversial or flagged by the algorithm, he'll just silence it out and then just write the words out in the bottom of the screen. So, you know, that works.
I'll have an hour video and I'll have it edited, no time flat, but then it'll take me another hour to insert all the bleeps.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to the point now, it's just F-bombs. That's all I bleep out. Other than that, as long as I'm not yelling at somebody, you piece of, you know, something like that, yeah, then I'll bleep it out. Because then they say you're being demeaning towards somebody. But if I'm talking to an inanimate thing, like my engine, with this next video's pretty good about that, you know, they don't care. But I haven't got any warnings or anything, so I've been getting a little more. I'm going to see how far I can take it talking like a regular truck driver.
Well, recently they relaxed the standards as far as cursing goes. I think it's still, you can't have any F-bombs in the first 30 seconds. And they never gave you a problem with conversational ones. So in other words, like if you, you know, just during the course of something blows up and you go, oh, fuck, right? It's like they never bothered with stuff like that. It was when it was used in certain contexts or repeatedly and stuff like that. But now they've relaxed it. It's still no cursing in the first 30 seconds, but they've I don't remember the rules, but it was recently, like over the last like 2 months or so, where they relaxed the rules as far as language goes.
Yeah, I got one video. That video of when I was out at Buffalo Valley, and then the steering went away in the truck.
Yeah,
There's a long line of F-bombs all in a row. But they didn't, I figured, they're just going to, no, they never said anything about that. But,
wait, Real World Garage is just messing with Tony. What you messing with me, man? YouTube is where it's at, but everybody can't be Uncle Tony. I know Kathy's Uncle Kathy. She obviously can't be me.
So my newest video that comes out this next week, I had to do a lot of bleeping because I hit my hand twice with that.
With that thing?
That's what size is about a 5-pounder.
That's a 5-pounder, easy, right?
Yeah, 5-pound DFH. Yeah.
I was knocking that piston out, and I swung down, and it hit the punch thing I was using and cracked me right there twice. I got the little marks, and I got to play drums this weekend too, so this will be great. I can't wait.
That to get that piston out?
Oh, well, if you look at it, you can see how corroded it is. I knocked out corrosion that was pushed through the cylinder.
I was going to say that ate right into the cylinder.
It actually expanded through the cylinder. There was no fixing it. It was junk before I even,
Yeah.
This is the top side. That's the bottom side. I must have took an inch of corrosion on top and just sucked it off with the vacuum. It was terrible. As soon as I opened it, I was like, well, this thing's junk. Well, I might as well make a video out of it. So I did it. And
that 361 that I got set up to run on propane now, I had lent that to a friend of mine, I guess it was maybe a dozen years ago, and he had it in his race car. And then it sat. And it had plain water in it, and it froze, and all kinds of nasty stuff, right? It had cracks and whatnot. So I welded up the cracks. But before that, I had to knock the pistons out, and a couple of them were just seized in the bore. And I think it was number 7 and number 8. I don't know. One of the holes at the back of the engine was like that, and the piston, the oil ring, literally ate itself into the cylinder wall. Like there was a giant gouge. I was like, it was so deep that you could really catch your finger in it. Not like, I can feel, a nudge there. No, it's like boom, dead stop, because it edged itself all the way in. So, but it's right at the oil ring level. So I'm like, we'll see how it runs. And I've run the motor a couple of times, and it doesn't pump any oil, and it doesn't smoke at all. So we'll just send it till it blows up.
Throw a piston on that rod and send it. That's just how I think.
Yeah, I just happen to luckily have another piston sitting around from a 361, so I threw that one in there.
What did I miss, fellas?
Everything.
Oh, it's just
Gentlemen,
there was a giveaway of thousands of dollars and prizes and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we got the Rabbit Transits here, Turbo World, Colleen also. Looking pretty good. But
I didn't even think to look through those.
I'm just looking at the comments.
yeah. Turbo World, I seen his jigs and videos, stuff like that. Glanced at it, but I didn't look the whole thing. I'll give the full look.
Turbo World, what happened to your channel, man?
Oh, he's been in a nasty fight with YouTube. They're just giving him all kinds of hell.
Well, well, you got to choose your battles wisely. I mean, if you want to do YouTube, you really can't fight with YouTube. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Right. And I'm all about biting, feeding hands. There's no problem with that. But, you got to choose your battles wisely. So what happened? What was the feud about?
He would be the one to tell you. He would have to be the one to tell you.
He's got. They're about to move my channel. I'm on a second strike in 6 days. I'm 6 pinning. So if I have it their way, I'll be on Rumble.
Holy moly!
Oh, okay. He says he started 8 years ago with non-copyright. Oh, it's a music thing. Okay.
Fair use and medicine, he says.
Yeah. I mean, do you need the music that badly?
I mean, there's a lot of non-copyrighted stuff out there. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit as well, but you make it work.
Well, and at the time, it may have not have been copyrighted, and it is now. You know.
Well, there's that.
That happened. I used to use this with like a splash screen for like an end of my video type thing, and it was on YouTube as, "Hey, this is free. Use it for your videos."
Right.
And I used it for a while, and then like 6 months later, my video started getting flagged because it was now copyrighted. I'm like,
Yeah, I stopped using YouTube's music because it's not consistent. And so you got a video. I got a few out there that are evergreen videos. Every single week I'm getting views on it. But if one of those gets flagged for music, it's going to kill that for me. So I try not to use any YouTube music anymore.
same here. Yeah.
The only time we ever used music was before we actually started doing the channel, when we were doing a podcast, right?
Yep.
So I was just trying to follow the formula of other people who were doing podcasts, so it would kind of like blend in. And they all had some sort of lead-in music. They all had some sort of, and I couldn't find it. Didn't want to deal with any copyrighted stuff. I didn't want to deal with anything that was like commercially like known. And all of the free stuff was just ass. So we brought in a whole band. And we set them up in here.
Now that's how you do it right there.
That's how you do it.
Was it one of your underground punk rock bands, or what was it?
They weren't punk. They were just like more like rock, like
okay,
punkish, but not really punk.
I use Epidemic Sound,
That's
but I only use like a couple of songs.
Right.
I use my little jingle at the end because it's Irish sounding, like that Boston. I can't think of the name of that band, but it sounds a lot like, Irish style music. And then every once in a while I'll put something in. But I got flagged with them. They're like, "Oh, they said you use," and I argued with them because I don't know, something happened. Oh, I got a different credit card. So when it tried to renew, it didn't renew. So then I get a flag from YouTube, and they said this has to go down. And I wrote them, and I said, no, in their statement or whatever, if you download something, it's yours. And everything I use, I downloaded all. It all gets to my computer, and they popped it right back up. I mean, it took 15 minutes, and they popped it right back up because it says right there in their damn terms of service, anything that you download is yours if you're using their pay service at that time. But
yep,
I don't really use music that much anymore anyway. I just use that one little thing at the end, and it's a whole 5 seconds, or 10 seconds long.
This was all ringing a bell. There's a guy has a channel called New Guy's Garage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think it's his brother does music for copyright free music for channels.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a resource.
Yep.
Providing you can't make your own, which he obviously clearly can.
There you go.
I'll just call Jay. Jay, you can write me a jingle.
Yeah, make us a jingle on your telly there. Yeah.
Actually, in my earlier ones, that's one of my songs. One of my songs is actually on my channel if you look for it. And then a band that I was in, Nashville recording artist, I played drums for. I used his music legally, but I try to do that too. But I don't know. After a while, I got sick of hearing my own songs, so I just, I started using Epidemic Sound. But
I've been saying for years I want to start a band. I have no musical talent. I have no interest in ever having any musical talent, but I want a band anyway.
Hey, I became a car YouTuber, and I only have marginal mechanic ability.
Same.
I lived in Nashville off and on. I did a lot of studio work down there. Gretchen Wilson's a real good friend of mine. Big Kenny, John Rich from Big and Rich.
I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were like the underground Nashville, and then they made it huge. Like all of them did. But I used to go down there all the time. Not so much anymore. You can go to the pretty part there on the strips and all that, but you get just a little bit out from that.
What, Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh no, this city, it's a pussycat of a city.
Mm-hmm. I used to have to park at that TA when I was truck driving. I go to Coca-Cola down there, and I'd have to park there. And I used to run around with a guy that lived south of me in Hill in Illinois. He was south on 130, and he was just a weird guy. You know, he's just one of them weird guys. I didn't think much of it. And went all over the South with him. We'd go down 40 to Knoxville. We'd cut down to Atlanta. We all hauled kind of the same stuff. About 6 to 8 years later, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I was sitting in a dock somewhere, and I popped on YouTube, and I seen this name come across, and it was serial killers.
Oh, really?
Son of a bitch was a serial killer. We would stay at that Nashville TA. And anyway, this is one of the places he dropped one of his girls, like where we always parked.
Nice.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. I used to have breakfast with this dude every morning, you know. But
he was the nicest guy.
He was a nice guy. He just got done killing a hooker in his hotel room. And, yeah, he was all ready, hungry for breakfast. Yeah.
That's like the joke that says, you know, the guy picks up the hitchhiker and the hitchhiker's saying, hey, don't you worry about picking up a serial killer? And the driver says, well, what are the odds of there being two in the same car?
Hey, I have a friend of mine. I know this kid from the time he's like a little kid, and he's doing time for selling body parts. So it's like, you never know. You never know. Not
sounded like a good idea.
car body parts.
No, I'm thinking it's one thing to sell them. It's the acquiring. That's
the hardest thing.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
He worked in a funeral home.
Oh.
I would say that's the easy part. Selling them's probably the tough part.
Well, it's that covering up where you got them. That's the hard part.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they
just
were
like
after
anything else.
bones and stuff like that. So he was selling bones, and the way they caught him was that they had to do they exhumed the body of some woman. They had to do some kind of autopsy, whatever it was, and they found that one of her leg bones was replaced by a piece of broomstick handle. So I was like, only one person that could be.
Jimmy, what's this all about, Jimmy? Yeah.
He always wanted to be a pirate. So I just
That's his last wish.
Terrible.
Yeah, he made the national news. It was a big deal. Blaine Thompson, this convo got twisted quick. Oh, it can go way further.
Yeah. This one's kind of, it's tame tonight.
You're just walking around, ain't you? You're fine. He's all nervous.
He wants to be on TV. It's fine.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be honing a block?
Yeah, cleaning parts, doing something. Yeah.
Get back there and get on that 350.
I mean, the one you pulled that piston out of.
Yeah. I'm still gonna try to put that 350 together, even though it looks like Swiss cheese in the cylinder.
That's right. You saw Dr. Art's epoxy cylinder.
Is that the one with the crack in it?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's a 402.
The 402 is junk.
Which one had the crack in it?
That's the 402. The 350
okay.
it looked like barnacles in the cylinder.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that'll still go.
I took a damn paint scraper and knocked off the freaking barnacles.
Your
But
350, just
funny.
JB weld it. It'll be fine. JB
Is
weld it.
nothing still running, Art?
Yeah, it runs like a top.
I would do that, but not on the 402. That thing.
No, but it's
funny.
you're just putting in a driver. Who cares?
Well, I always used to do that crap, but then you get all the hate, and I don't really care about the hate. But I was on Power Tour and I ran into Dan, and I asked him about that 350 that he kind of half-assed put together on the garage floor, DD Speed Shop. And we were sitting there talking. He goes, "Oh my God, you wouldn't believe I was the worst hack piece of crap. How can you do that?" And all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I do that all the time. There's millions of us out here that do that. I call them filling station rebuilds. You get it in, you get the damn thing running, and you get it out. That's how they used to do it. It wasn't so specific.
Well,
back in the day.
Similar to body work. Now everybody thinks everything has to be welded and perfectly straight. And, back in the day, that wasn't what they did.
I mean, this is a bad example, clearly, right? But how do you think fuel motors are put together, right? We're working on these things. They get slammed together. Everything is by hand. Everything is by eye. You're laying on the ground. There's dust and stuff blowing all over the place. It's like perception. The public just has this perception that, all of this stuff can only happen in a clean room. It all has to be surgically perfect. And it's just not like that in the real world. You get into any type of racing where there's flogging going on, and it's like you're flying by the seat of your pants, and whatever is. And you hone it, or you bang it in place, you do whatever you got to do to get back out there again, and this stuff lives.
Part of that,
you can't present that to the general public. They don't get that.
Part of that is the mainstream automotive world. Like Levi will back me up on this. Motor Trend did a video the other day of they put boost on an LS Levi, and they were having a hard time getting it to 12 seconds in the quarter, right? And they blew every ringland off of every hole, top ringland off of every piston, and they're like, "Oh, we called some people, and we just found the limit of the stock pistons." And I'm like, what are you trying to sell me some forged pistons? Like, what are you doing here? Like,
I ran.
That's exactly what it is. They want to sell you a product, and that's why they're telling people that they can't do better than a 12 with the stock pistons. No, your tune was shit, and you blew it up. That's why. So,
I know for a fact I was able to make 100 horsepower per cylinder with stock pistons, no gap. This is factory gap.
Well, they got lucky. That's just getting lucky, right?
Well, you run E85.
It's the gap that kills the piston.
You run E85. Right?
There's no horsepower limit to a piston, right? You can take a cast piston and make 2,000 horsepower with it, as long as the rings aren't as long as you don't run into detonation. It's hammering on the piston, and the rings don't tighten up and break out the land. There's no limit to what you can make off of a cast piston, as long as it doesn't run into trauma. The problem is, once you start stepping on a motor, there's always those periods of trauma, where the combustion spikes are sharp, and even you don't have to get into detonation. It's like borderline detonation, and that'll rattle a stock piston. But if you're running a thing fat and happy, and it's got gap, there's no limit to what you can get out of a stock cast piston.
Levi, you were on E85 too, right?
No, it's VP C12.
Oh, okay.
Race gas.
I was gonna say on E85, them top of the piston never gets hot, dude.
All I can say is an oil change a month is probably what you're looking at. That's how fat it is.
Fat is happy. Lean is mean, but fat is happy.
Mm-hmm. It worked.
Yep, my truck's fat on fuel and lazy on timing, but it still goes. I can still get it. It can still be a 10-second truck.
Yeah.
So I don't know we couldn't get it to 12s because you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Fat is torque.
What suspension setup?
I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but there's a YouTuber on here that built a stroker 302 Ford, and had it on the dyno, couldn't make power, blew it up. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how you blow up an NA car on a dyno, but okay.
You put it together wrong.
That's rough.
Yeah, with no boost, no nitrous, and you're still blowing it up. Well, just go home.
Well, 302 supposedly just break in half at 500 horsepower.
At 500 horsepower, yes, I've done it. Yeah.
That's bullshit. They don't just automatically break in half. You got to
$4.99, you're perfectly fine, but $5.01, all quick.
I love hearing that.
When I was starting to get into the Windsor Fords, this was like in the late '80s. Guys, I had worked on them, but now I had the Mustang, and I was on that path, you know what I mean? And then I got off the path, but I started really doing some researching, and I started looking back at junior fuel and unblown funny car applications that used Windsors. There was a Cougar called the Finagler that was running down in the 18s, 820s back in 1969. That was using an injected 302. Actually, the 289, then the 302. But I researched all these combinations, and the power levels they were getting back then out of the stock blocks on nitro were like they were hovering in that 1,000 horsepower range. So that's why I know this bullshit when people say, "Oh, you get to 500 horsepower and the block splits in half." No, something happened to make the block split in half. If it's fat and happy, it'll make the power, and it's the detonation that rattles it, and boom, the weak link.
High rise. Oh, okay. I'm just flipping through the comments, making sure we're not missing something good.
I was trying to read.
Yeah.
Irish, how you been, buddy?
Oh, same old, same old. Drive a truck for 12 hours and work on cars for 8, and then sleep for 2.
I feel you. my brother drives trucks, so my dad too. So I know all about it.
I was off today. I didn't know what to do with myself, so I just stayed in my damn shorts and a shirt and watched the new Indiana Jones and edited video. I didn't want to do a damn thing, and then I come out here and just I messaged Buff, and I thought, you know what are you doing? I'm going to go on live. I ain't done that for a while.
I was working on another car.
Yeah.
I blew one up, so I got to make another one run.
Which one you work on?
I'm actually juggling the Avalanche because I don't know. I hit a pothole, and now it has a crack in the ABS thing, and the Hydro Boost is leaking from hitting a pothole. And
it's a
then,
hell of a pothole. Yeah.
And then I went to go change the distributor cap on the van, and it was like $17. So I said, screw it, we're going to turbo it instead. So I pulled all that out to turbo it. I didn't want to pay the $17. That's kind of where I'm at. Why pay $17 when I've got the non-HEI ready to go in? It's just throw that in.
Yeah. What kind of reaction you got when you had to change the front end on that van?
From
when
anyone?
Yeah.
The comment I hear the most is when people watch the video, they said, "Did you really just draw a line in the dirt on the side of the van and then cut it?" And I went, "Yeah, that's what I did." And then I went out to the donor van and I went, "Yep, about the same." And I cut that one too. And then I kind of just fine-tuned it when I got in there. It's not 100%, but then again, I wasn't going for that. I just had 24 hours, but about 12 hours of working to swap the front end on it.
Looks good to me.
I needed it to run and drive, and it did. It made it all the way to Arizona and back. And a burnout contest.
Mm.
I got so much. That was the main thing. People would come up and ask me in Tucson about my Buick, and they're like, they'd see the driver's side. And they're like, oh, man, this thing's, why don't you restore this and blah, blah, that whole thing.
And you go, look over there.
I mean, honestly, it's a extremely rare car.
Right.
Like, they made like 1,800 of these things.
Because you had Derek and Freiberger and several others all wanting to get that car.
Derek goes, "Hey, hit me up if you want to sell that, Jay." And I said, no. I'm sitting there in line to get judged, and I get up there. Freiberger's looking at it, called it garbage. He didn't even ask the crowd. He just said, "I want to see this thing run," and he put a sticker on it. And then what's his name? Dulcich was just standing over the top of it like this, looking at it. This is original 340 Buick. It has the air cleaner that only come on it, the Corvette, and the GTO. All original, man. This thing is stock transmission, everything. And Dulcis just got his hands on his head. He says, "Do you want to sell this?" No. But that was the main thing. People come up and they'd say, "Oh, this thing's gorgeous. What color are you going to paint it?" And I said, "Rust."
Yep.
Paint chip. You know.
It's,
And then they go to
the thing is you tell them
side. They're like, "Oh my god."
if there was a minivan parked on this thing, you know, it's you got to understand this is after the van was removed.
A Windstar minivan barrel rolled drunk driver and landed on top of this car. I fixed the roof with my tractor, picked it up with the bucket, got a windshield on it, used flames and that hammer that I beat myself with last night. I used that to. Yeah, my flames are taking off again. There must be gas in the oil. I did whatever I could to get it to run. Put a timing chain on it, a few new gaskets, and I took it all the way to Tucson. The only thing that happened to that car was on the way back in Tulsa, I had to change a rear shock that was brand new, and I picked it up in Amarillo, Texas, at the big O'Reilly's place. And they traded it out for me. I changed it in the parking lot, getting accosted by every street walker you could think of, and drove it home. The thing never gave us a fit. It is done, though. If you start it up, we drove it yesterday. Amber took it, and every time you mash on it, the old blue smoke come flying out of it. It needs valve guides, some fierce.
But think about where it came from.
Oh, yeah.
And you took it clear across the country and back. I mean, to me, that's not going to discount the Holy Goat, but it was a bigger win than the Holy Goat even, because that one's proven. We know it'll do it. And so watching you do that was pretty awesome.
It took a toll on me. I don't know if you'd be able to see that little flame. There's my stack. It sounds like a jet taking off right now. Whoops. Yeah, it's burning all the mice turds out of it, that's for sure. Oh, wow, that thing's loud. When you start smelling the oil, that's when you know it's burning a little warm. It's coming out all the holes, the rust holes in the stove. But no, I plan on taking that Buick on power tour. We took the Javelin 2 years in a row, new motor in the Javelin. And then, I don't know, I found a 350 Buick with a turbo 350 behind it that runs. It's perfect. I may stick that in there for that.
What?
I'd sure love to take it on the trip, you know, make 2 long trips like that.
I'll be there in 10 minutes. 5 minutes. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I got to help her out inside. What's that dollar?
What are you doing with the dollar?
Someone in the comments said, "So what was scarier for you, learning that Santa isn't real or that the dollar isn't?" Feels pretty real to me.
Yeah.
It's not, though.
It's not.
It's not.
I try to remind people all the time. It's like, it's just paper that we've somehow decided has value.
Yeah, and one paper's worth $1 and one paper's worth $20. And it's
I have more faith in Santa Claus.
No. At one point, it actually did have value because it was directly exchangeable. But it's not anymore.
It's not
the gold standard for
zero
you.
value.
Okay.
I lived in Alaska. I have been to North Pole, Alaska. I have met Santa Claus. I'm just saying that's probably more real.
I was just trying to
ran
be funny.
inside.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Kennedy
Yeah,
wanted
to get
put us
that,
on
I gave
silver
it to him.
standard,
Yeah,
so
that's
we
the
know
original.
what happened there,
What was that? What was that, Ken?
Kennedy wanted to put us
What's
on a
that?
silver standard, and we know what happened there, huh?
Yeah.
It was Executive Order 10010. It was all ones and O's. That was the executive order that got him snuffed.
Like 3 of the people that opposed the Federal Reserve were on the Titanic.
I know.
Kind of weird, huh?
No, not if you understand the history of all this stuff. It ain't.
No. You pissed off the wrong people. You're in the ditch.
When
I
did we get
guess.
off the gold standard?
19.
August 15th, 1971. And we were never on a gold standard. the dollar was exchangeable for gold. We were always on a silver standard. The dollar is defined in the Constitution as 1 ounce of silver. And then the exchange rate was 16 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold back then. Then they raised it to 20, then they raised it to 32, then they raised it to 42, then they raised it to 46. And then on August 15th, 1971, well, in Kennedy, once Kennedy was out of the picture, they took the silver out of circulation, the 90% silver coinage. And then in 1971, Nixon closed the gold window, and that's what led to the oil shortage. That whole OPEC thing, they say it was a war in this one, Israel, and blah blah blah. It's bullshit. It was the Arabs rebelling because there was an agreed price of a barrel of oil for a 1/10 ounce of gold. And so when Nixon closed that gold window, all the transactions had to be done through the dollar, and the Arabs were like, "Fuck you," and that got the.
I knew that was the decline of society right there. That was the defining factor.
I agree. And with many steps along the way.
Well,
But that was the final shot. Look up if you really want to go down a historic rabbit hole. Look up the Organic Act of 1871, because that's where it really got started. I know too much about this shit. I have to go help her. She's putting up the Christmas tree. I got to get stuff down from the attic. So, guys, it was nice hanging out with you.
yeah,
See you,
thanks for-
Tony.
Tony, talk to you later, bud. Thank you.
I'll catch you later. Now, how
Have a
do
good night.
I stop this? Oh, there it
There you go.
You
That's
figured it out.
it.
Hey, I'm gonna hop off here too. I was gonna have a live start at 8:30. I'll see what happens. But I got to calm this fire down before I burn my back. It's getting a little intense in here.
If the place catches on fire, please start a live.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
if it goes
something I can
live, I'll pull the camera. This outside. Everybody, hold on. Get the hose out. That's all right. I didn't need them motors anyway.
Well, that's the first thing you pull out.
Hey, easy heat to get your cylinders loose.
Yeah.
Just push the engines in there real quick.
Push the engine next to the furnace, yeah.
Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Yeah, I've got a 59 straight 6 that needs the cylinders loosened up.
I've had enough getting cylinders loose.
Yeah, I'm about done.
I've got a 327 I got to go get that a buddy of mine's got up north of me. That has Vortec heads on it.
Huh.
Somebody had already converted the early, what are them, 90, I don't remember, 95, 96 heads. They got them on there, and it's all cammed up and everything, and it's just sitting in his shop.
There were some valuable heads.
His girlfriend had a ex-husband lost everything in the marriage, and she don't want it sitting in the garage. So he said, "You want it?" I said, "Yep." Yeah. Couple
I'll be
$100,
back,
come
guys.
get it. It's got transmission behind it today. So
Nice.
I got that one. Then I've got a LT1 out of a Caprice cop car.
Oh, fun. That'll
So-
scoot.
I lost 2 engines in one day. So got to start looking for some more. But I'm going to hop off here and get me something to drink and calm. Jesus. Wish I had a thermometer to show you. It's about 90 degrees right here right now.
You're
All
almost
wood
to lake
building.
temperature now.
All wood building covered in tar paper. This is
The
the
tar
smart.
paper will be nice and sealed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I'll talk at you later.
All right, Irish. Thanks, bud.
See you, Jay.
See ya.
Have a good night.
There you go.
Yeah, now there were 4.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, 3.5. Ken took off again.
This latest stuck engine I've got, I'm pretty sure it's not completely rusted because I pulled the plugs, all that. There's no rust in there. I think what happened was because they left the hood up. I don't know if it's an Oklahoma thing or what, but they left the hood up and water got into the carb. The carb was seized. And I pulled the carb off and looked down into the intake, and you can see a pile of rust just sitting in that intake. And it's a straight 6 from 59, so it's all off on the side. So I pulled the intake off, and 2 of the intake runners have just lines of rust down them. So
where the water trickled into the cylinders.
I
Yeah.
feel like when we went to start it, it actually did move a bit. And I kind of think maybe some of that rust got jammed in there and won't let it, fully go through the cycle. So I think instead of doing it right, because it's sitting in the middle of a field and it's winter, I think we're going to hook the tractor up to it and give it a yank and see if we can't free it up. I'll either break it or fix it, either way. But I feel bad because I got a video out there of trying to get the motor unstuck and we didn't even succeed. I mean, and by all rights, that's a crap video because it did not succeed.
Fill all the cylinders with like a gallon of ATF, and then pull it. And once it starts to spin, just have the fluid just popping out of the cylinders.
They're full for now. Right now, they are.
Oh, okay.
Just in case, yeah.
Crow works really well too.
Yeah, I have that. Back when I was doing, I had a lot less subs. Somebody felt sorry for me when I bought that 63 because I don't know who it was, but they sent me a case of Croyle. I think it came from Amazon, and that had to be like $100 and some bucks.
Oh yeah, it's not cheap.
Expensive. I'm still working my way through that.
Yeah, I try to be smart about the engines I build. Like everything's newer than 2000.
Oh yeah, no, nothing. I'm an idiot. Everything I touch has to be sitting for at least a few years. It feels like it just feels wrong if it's not.
Right. Just put a battery in it and go. That's no fun.
Yeah, I just went to Dalton's. He's been trying to build that 4x4 van for a while now, and he calls me up at the last minute and said, "Well, I'm ready to pull that 454 out of this van." They didn't put that 454 in the van from the front. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah, it's probably from the engine cover.
No, it comes in from the bottom.
There's no cross member?
That whole front the front suspension.
Yeah.
Drops, I guess, that front cross member. And we almost had it shoved down and out through the bottom. And at that point, I think it was like 2 a.m, and we just decided to go ahead and separate the trans and just yanked it out the front. When that video comes out, it won't come out until he actually has it in the new van, but when that video comes out, you're going to see it was.
Sounds like
the van went down the assembly line.
We started at 3 in the afternoon, and we finished at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the floor was spotless when we started, and there was a sea of what looked like very used engine oil, but it was not. It was transmission fluid, and it just flooded the whole floor.
Which is nice when it's all smelly and everything else.
Oh, God, I smelled horrible. And then I go to get in my car, and the transmission in that one goes out right there in his driveway.
That's like, oh, you want to play a transmission? Okay.
So I drove his Swanee truck, which on his channel, he went up north and got this thing. It's a old Chevy square body, all-wheel drive, 454. So it did all of 55 all the way home from Missouri to Oklahoma.
At 5 miles per gallon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had to fill it twice to get here.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a ride home, so there was that.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't think the Holy Goat was the best choice. The vet cart, no, not really good idea. The Jag, I think he might have a new owner for that one. So, I mean, there was just so many options. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I love square bodies. I'll just take this one.
Well, he's got, I mean, how many cars does he have laying around up there?
That are tagged and insured? About
no,
3?
Just cars.
Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because he showed like a drone footage of his.
Yeah, I'm counting. 9, 10. Oh, well over 24, 25, something like that. That's just the ones that he has on his property, not counting Kevin's bus or my 61 Ford. He's got a couple.
Oh, okay.
I was disappointed that we got so busy with that engine I didn't get to shoot the flamethrower. That was the only thing that made me sad. But my car's still there, so there's still a chance I can shoot the flamethrower.
Yeah, you have to go back and get it.
Yeah, maybe at the car. I don't know.
or have him trade that Pontiac for something else on the property and drive that home.
He doesn't want that. It's too new.
Oh, okay.
He really likes the old stuff, which it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, have you talked to Ray lately?
I have.
I thought I had his contact, and I was going to get a hold of him to come, pop in tonight. But
yeah, if you got him on Facebook or Instagram, anything like that, he'll respond.
No. Yeah, I just need to send him a message on one of his videos.
Yep.
Because I thought I had it, but I looked and I don't know, for some reason I thought I had his phone and stuff like that, but I don't.
Punisher Le Mans Ray?
Yeah.
Facebook, anytime I want something or he needs something, it's a good way to get a hold of him.
Yeah, he's pretty quick on that one. I actually end up talking to him on that more than I do on his text message. And his son's got 2 extra supercharged 3800s with transmissions, and I'm trying to con him out of one of those for right now. It's like, does it work? He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, it's got to be better than what I got.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to say that numerous passes down the drag strip and burnouts pretty much every chance I got were the deciding factor. I'm looking at it as I was given a free car and was told the transmission was bad, and it's been over a year and a whole lot of miles.
So that's all free ride.
That's a pretty good win.
Yeah, that's all a free ride.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I did change the oil, put a Wix filter in it, and that got me an extra couple 100 miles, and then that was it.
You got what you paid for it, right?
Exactly. I just started looking at, okay, well, let's start to make this car nice. And that's where I failed. I stopped thinking of it as the free car, and I started going, let's actually fix it up. And I should have left that alone.
Those supercharged Pontiac 3800s in those like Grand Prix and stuff like that, because I used to mess with them back when they were more popular and a couple of years old. The exhaust is the biggest thing on there because one of the pipes has to come up and over like the reinforcement, and it gets squished down, and you pop the cats off and fix that pipe, and it can breathe then, and it'll rip.
It's definitely going to get. If I have to pull this trans, that means the whole thing's got to come out the bottom. Mm-hmm. So that'll be a good time to get the cutoff wheel and the welder, and we'll make a few modifications.
Yeah.
Now, if I can sell enough merch to get the trans, I want to also get a few $100 to get that HP tuners, because I think it was you, Dr. Art, mentioned having that, and they've got a few good tunes for HP tuners for those engines, and I just want to adjust fuel. I feel like if I pull the air filter off, I know I need an air filter, but if I pull it off, that sucker is lean and it is fast. But then it starts throwing codes because it's lean. So I want to be able to adjust the fuel, and if that's not enough, put in bigger injectors, maybe a bigger fuel pump. Start actually making it do what it's supposed to do, because these guys, before they get crazy in the engine, that's where it gets really expensive, they can squeeze 14s out of it easy on a quarter mile.
Yeah, with those, the big thing was the pulleys.
Yep.
For the blower and the exhaust on them.
Yep.
And it makes a huge difference.
Yep.
And then
open up the exhaust. I'm on a lot of forums, and of course talked to the folks that pretty much exclusively sell. I think it's ZZ Performance or something. They're pretty much everybody buys from them, but they're expensive. Okay. But anyway, my whole thing was, get the air coming in, get the air going out, keep the fuel going through it, and then we'll look at see what happens.
Yeah, because the HP tuners it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not hard once you figure out. It's just spreadsheets with numbers on it, and then you take these spreadsheets and overlay these by whatever they multiply it by, and there's your end result. And you're like, oh, it's just numbers. So everybody wants it's this percentage of this. No, it's 35, and if you want more fuel, it's 40. Okay, that's how simple it is.
Yep.
So, and then and then you could play with the timing, and if you run some E85, you could clip your another 3 degrees of timing in it, and because a blown automatic, you put some timing in it, and it's just a rocket.
Blaine says torque steering remedy. So if you guys went to No Name Nationals, you saw a Geo Metro with a turbocharged 3800 in the back of it. My remedy would be I would go find an identical GTP, well, Grand Prix, it doesn't matter. Whatever, it's going to look identical to the one I have. And I'm going to black out the windows, and behind the driver, there's going to be a firewall, and I'm going to move that engine from the front to the back. We're gonna put all the power in the back, and I've always wanted a mid-engine or rear-engine car. I mean, I had a Fiero once, that was not as fun, but I don't know. It would honestly be better with like an LS, but I know those LS transmissions from what are those, Bonnevilles or
Impala.
When you got a 5.3 with that transaxle, it didn't hold up as well.
No.
And yeah, I could put a regular, horizontal, engine and run the whole tunnel, and that seems like more effort. I'll just put the engine in the back, put in a firewall, and
it'll be faster than the van.
Right there, Blaine knows what I'm talking about. Mid-engine, see, it'd be cool.
Or just find yourself an old Eldorado with that 500 cubic inch and take that whole front end.
I may have a plan for something like that later. I have a lot of plans here, and it irks me that I don't have the money, because I feel like every time I have an idea, I tell people, and then 6 months to a year later, somebody else does it. And I'm like, dang it, I didn't have the money to do it yet.
Yeah.
But yes, I do have. I think there's something in the works.
Oh, okay.
I want to build a mid-engine car. I love the one that you're doing. That's kind of a dream thing for me to do something like that, because I would drive it daily. It would be stupid to, but I would daily drive it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, what is your daily commute now?
Well, I do 24 to 48 hour shifts. Mm-hmm. So currently I drive 2.5 hours each way, because it was easier to keep the job I had with the pay amount that I was getting than it was to try to get a job locally that paid about a third to maybe half. So, and my job, for the most part, I'm not going to say it's easy, because, it never is, but it's not as demanding as if I had a regular job. And if you think about it, I only work 2 days a week. So if I drove back and forth to work every day, add up that time frame. Because there's no companies where I live. I'm on a lake. So to drive, it would be a 30-minute drive to a town that had a job. And so 30 minutes each way, there's an hour times 5. Yeah, there's my commute.
Okay, just do it all in.
I do it in 2 days, and then I come home.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And most everybody I know has a second job. That's awesome. This is my second job. I just need to sell more merch so it makes it worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we would sell merch, but it's tough.
It is. And I made the mistake early on. I'm glad I did some of it, but when I had 1,000 subs, I was trying to build a brand, not a channel. And unfortunately, as much as I built the brand, the channel kind of suffered. So you got guys like Dalton and who is it? Chris Birdsong. Those guys, they built their channels. Their channels are doing really well. And then their brand is now playing catch up. Dalton just now got a decent merch guy, got good quality stuff going out. His sales were more in 1 month than mine have been in the last 2 years, just for 1 month. And that's because he built his channel first, and now his brand is taken off. I did it the other way around. So I've got the brand down. We've got the LLC. We've got the, the old TMs and all that. But at the same time,
you need the channel to support the brand, so you have exposure.
And I've got a lot of subs.
Yeah.
But I don't have those die-hard guys that are watching every video. because I'll get a 20,000 view video, and then the next video will be 1,000, and I'm going,
Hey,
well,
1,000 is good for me. That's for damn sure. I love my 1,000.
what did I miss? You know, this one hit the algorithm and took off. This one's just kind of.
Well, I don't have there's only a few videos that I have that are over 1,000 views. So, and I've
gotten lucky.
I'm consistently getting 1,000 views almost per video. Like not every video, but we're damn near hitting 100% 1,000 view rate. So things are looking up, brother. Keep at Levi. You just got to keep at it, brother.
Yeah,
that is it. You just got to keep at it, and you watch your videos. Evergreen content's important because I've got ones that I actually got made fun of. Kevin from Junkyard Digs made fun of me about my GTP video where I took a bus, went to Texas, got the GTP, drove it home. He's like, did you really do a revive and drive on a 98 GTP? I'm like, I did, because it was free and it was a free video. And that one is every single week gets views every week and comments every week. Mm-hmm. And it's have a ridiculous amount of views, but it's consistent. And so every time someone makes fun of it, I go, really? Because this was the check I got last month from that video.
Well, my channel is based around drag racing, and you can only do that March through maybe September, really, and then it's kind of over for me.
Yep.
So that's my window of good content, and then the winter months is just updates, basically. I don't do anything else, really.
Blaine, no, a trust doesn't own my LLC.
Yeah, nobody owns my LLC.
I'm my own LLC.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
And somebody else asked if I do merch, and I mentioned it early in the video, but I was using a third party for my merch. Very unhappy with them. I had paid someone early on to do my merch, and that's really what screwed me is who's got $2,000 to spend on just a handful of merch in the beginning?
Right.
Nobody. But I had a windfall because we wrecked one car. I bought another. I had a little bit extra. I bought merch. I sold it all, but it took a year. So you're not getting a good return on that. So then when I went to do it again, I was getting decent sales from that third party, but the quality wasn't there. The shipping wasn't there. It was just bad. And so I hooked up with somebody here local in Oklahoma. They said, I don't want to make all your shirts, but they would make all of the transfers, which is, I just forgot what it was called now. Anyway, it's direct to vinyl.
DTG, direct to garment.
No, not to garment. It goes on this big piece of plastic. So they ink it onto this plastic, and then they put the little film over it, and they give it to me. And I've got a big T-shirt press thing. And so I order the shirts myself. So instead of a $3 Gildan, this is a $6 shirt. These hats are the Richardson 112s that everybody wants. I also got Flex Fits now. But the lady that did this hat, she charged me $20 a hat plus another $5, well, for this thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm not paying that for these. I get them in bulk, so I get them at a better discount. But
who's going to pay $30 for a hat?
Well, that was my problem is I had these beautiful hats and nobody would buy them because they're too expensive. I ended up selling them all, but now I got the price down to what everybody else is charging, which is 20 or 25 bucks, something like that.
Yeah.
People will buy a hat that's 20 or 25 bucks. And that's after I got to put the ink on it. I've got to buy the special hat box for it. So it'll ship out that way, not get crushed. And I'm not making a ton of money on a hat, but it's a lot more than it was.
Yeah. Like my t-shirts that I sell at the track, I'm making like $4 off of.
Right. That's more than I ever made on merch. Most of my shirts I was making $1 or $2, and the hats were almost break even. Almost completely. Somebody asked what this is.
I'm gearing up to do merch too, Levi. Like I'm getting stuff made, getting designs made to put on shirts and shit right now. So
the way I did it was like, I don't want to pay $20 for a shirt. Why should I make my viewers
right? The only reason why I stuck to that is because I upgraded the quality of shirt, and then this is what we're talking about. So it's on like a piece
of
vinyl type paper, and it's actually gritty. But then this is the, ink side of it, and they print it on there, and then
Man, I need to find someone that does that.
That was the hard part. I had to find somebody that did that.
Because I got the heat press, and I mean, we got a vinyl cutter, but we can only do one color.
The other thing I'm going to do is next time on hats, there's a local embroiderer here, and I'm going to have her make me patches. And the patches cost almost as much as the hat, but make a whole bunch of patches. And then if you do a work shirt, you can do the patch. If you do a hat, you can do the patch. The patches can go on anything. And at that point, it really cuts your time and your cost down. And honestly, I think a patch looks cool.
A patch is like that sewn on, or like one of those.
Well, you can use this machine, and it has the same kind of glue. It's like an iron-on, but it's not. And this machine will heat it up to the point the glue seeps into there, and it won't come off. It's professional. Like, this machine's pretty cool. It'll do like coffee mugs too. It was a couple $100. It wasn't cheap, but
it does
make that back later.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, even with our merch, we've made our money back on the stuff that we use.
Yep.
And I mean, we're not selling huge amounts either. So
I think at some point, I mean, I of course still want to grow my channel and stuff, but I think that there's an opportunity to help out some of the smaller channels that do want to do merch. I can see myself, because I have all the programs to design logos and stuff. So if somebody gives me something they want to do, I can have all those prints made, and then I can just kick out shirts all day long.
I'll show you one that I got made up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just my dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's my dad's shirt. But
I like it.
These were for 24 of them. I think they were $500 or $600, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah,
It's that front and back that gets you.
yeah.
That's why my T-shirts were so expensive, because I have one sitting here. The back of all of mine, instead of having like the full logo on the front, I would just put the little logo on the back.
Yeah.
Whoops, there it is. No, there it is. Yeah. And so, like, that's the same logo that goes on the hat and everything else too. And it goes on the koozies. It's all the same size. So it's like one size fits all. You just put it on the shirt.
But my dad had some made in the late 90s when he first started racing, and we ran out of them. So I had some more made.
Yeah, cool.
With a newer picture of the truck. So
yeah, I figured I'd saved him enough money. I got, whoa, that's bright. Hold on. Let's unbright that. I got mailers.
Oh, well,
so all the T-shirts will come on their own mailers now.
Man, that would be nice. I got black ones.
Yeah. Well, black's still cool. I think Puddin went with the blue color. That's brilliant. You don't even have to have custom ones made. You just go to the store and buy blue ones, or Amazon or whatever.
Well, like I was going to, I want to buy stickers to where you seal them with a sticker, like a LBP sticker, to try and make them look a little better. But
yep. I mean, I got tons of stickers too, so we could always just sticker one up.
Yeah.
I'll say this to anybody that was looking to maybe have a shirt or two done. Like, as long as you don't want to try to overwhelm me, I can help. If you've got a logo in mind, it's something, I don't know, something you kind of already got fleshed out that I don't have to sit and try to figure out for you. I can fine tune it. I can make them pretty. And at the end of the day, if you approve it, I can ship it off, get the actual logo done. It'll be fairly inexpensive. You pick the shirt, we'll slap it on there. And like I said, as long as you don't want like 400 or 500 of them, I can help you out, and we could probably get you some shirts. And John, the mailers. So right now, all of my stickers are coming out of Sticker Mule. I I only use them because I used them in the beginning. It was fast. I could order my stickers within, honestly, 30 seconds. Anytime I want to order stickers, I hit reorder and it's done. And they now make mailers, which I thought was cool. If you remember No Name Nationals, the first one, I had a huge banner on the back of my car, and Sticker Mule made that one too. It has since worn off because it sat out in the sun and the cold and everything else, but it was made for a garage floor, not for a car window.
Outside, car tarp. Yeah.
I didn't even wash the window before I put it on. I just put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Are they pretty affordable, Sticker Mule?
I think so. There are guys that get them a lot cheaper. Let me see what I paid last time.
I used Sticker Pro, I think is what it was called, and like it's like $2 or $3 a sticker for my bigger ones, which is not very good.
So I know I haven't been here a lot tonight, and I apologize for that. But what have I missed anything important?
Important? No, it's all just been a long line of stories and BS. And
Okay, good. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was in a very important business call, so I had to take it.
no, it's fine.
His mama was calling.
Yeah, what's her name? Yeah,
Dude, I wish, dude. I've been single too long.
Let's see. I ordered 150 stickers, and it cost me about $150.
So $1 a sticker.
About $1 a sticker.
How big are the ones you got?
4 inch.
Like, what is it?
4 inch. I probably got one. Hold on.
Man,
that seems kind of high.
You think that's high?
Yeah,
That's high. You can find places that'll do them for 50 cents a sticker.
yeah. I can't remember who the hell.
And then I got
by-
these new ones.
I think mine were 3x3, and they were like
Yeah, I use Sticker
$2
Pros,
each.
and I get this sticker.
Yep.
I get
I have that sticker.
100 of those for like $30.
I guess my problem is I use the fancy hieroglyphic looking whatever they call that.
Yeah, and I've tried ones that
That
are
does
gold
make it
around them and everything else and different stuff. But yeah, just the basic ones. And
Yeah. I know Dalton got some that were supposed to be UV stable, and he saved a ton of money getting this one brand, ordered them up, and when they got there, I think they last a week before they're faded out if you put them on a car. So I got a whole stack of those that, I mean, they're great for your toolbox, but nothing else. And so then he went to this new company out of Iowa, same guy that's doing his merch, and his new stuff is better, but I think he said he's around 50 cents a sticker. So if Sticker Mule ever fails me, I'll probably switch to whatever this other one is. I don't even know.
Well, it's a sticker. It's not meant to last 30 years.
Right. But
Not
like
done.
almost all of these that are out there, they're almost all still stuck on something.
mine's on my toolbox.
I've got X's with these still on their cars. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stickers from the first No Name on my brother's car yet. The majority of them are holding up really well, and they're like 2 years old by this, or about 2 years old at this point. So,
well, I know the first batch I made had a different font, and I saw those cars at No Name this year, and they're still stuck to their cars. So I feel pretty good about that. But then every once in a while, one of these I'll stick on a car, and then I don't know, down the road it's already peeling. I don't know. Every once in a while I'll get one that doesn't.
Well, you stick them on enough random cars, you know.
Right. It'll come down to like I think I've only got them on the site for $2.99 or something. So that's basically covering shipping, because the only reason why the markup is that is because what happens is people will put a shirt on there and maybe a hat, and if you reach $50, I'll give you free shipping, which means that's just coming out of my profit. That's fine. I don't mind doing it. But what happens is they get real close and they don't quite get $50. So then they throw a couple stickers on there, and now they reach that $50 threshold and free shipping. Because I'll ship just about anywhere if the post office.
Who does your site, your website?
I built it.
Where did you go to do that?
Well, I originally way back in the day, I had my own business, and I bought several IP addresses, and one of them was Buff's Garage, and then another one was like Black Gold Auto, because that was one of my companies. And anyway, I bought it for pennies, and now I looked up Buff's Garage to see what it's worth, and it's $3,000 or $4,000 just for the name. So I did that, and then I started building the website through GoDaddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use GoDaddy. Yeah.
Yeah. There's other ways to do it, but that's how I started building mine. And I don't like paying much, so I paid the absolute cheapest amount I can pay. So I ended up paying basically when people buy the merch, if they buy it through PayPal, Apple Pay, anything like that, I end up paying there. So there's a small percentage that comes out for that processing, and that's about it. No, I can't do WordPress. I've done one before, and I'm not going to do it again.
I tried that. I tried an AI one where it like automates it, kind of. I hate that. That's what's up now.
Right.
I've tried a little bit of everything. Wix or whatever it's called.
Yep.
And they're either stupidly outrageous or it's hard to get one to be good.
Right. I've built my own from scratch before. I did most of the one that's up on GoDaddy now, and GoDaddy basically runs the shop, which is its own thing. So when you go to my website, it's its own thing. But then when you say take me to the merch, it takes you to the shop, which is a different thing that looks similar but isn't the same. And no, not Shopify.
I was at the point of just paying somebody to create one, but I haven't found anybody yet. I won't date myself, but let's just say over a couple of decades, I've tried to have websites built. Well, then you need somebody to manage it, because every time you want some little thing changed, they want to do it. So they either want to hit you with a monthly bill, or they want to charge you an outrageous amount every time you make a change. No matter what, you end up with a website that you don't have any control over, that's not able to be updated on a regular basis. It's just a pain. So there's lots of companies that'll host your website. You just have to decide what you want it to be. And again, early on, don't spend a lot of money, because we're trying to make this into a money making thing, and you're not going to get there paying somebody else a bunch of money. Yeah.
No, and it's a learning curve, because you're gonna, spend money in the wrong places 2, 3, 4 times.
Well, I do good when I'm out in the public racing and stuff. I sell plenty of T-shirts.
Right.
But
and that's where you kind of got to focus. Is there are guys that will use that third-party stuff on YouTube. I won't again. I'm not happy with it. I've stopped that website completely. But then there's others that I liked how YouTube linked it to your video, so you could actually pick up people buying stuff while they're watching the video. But the problem is you can't put your own website embedded in the video. They want you to only use those two companies, and I'm sorry, they're both crap. I wanted to not speak ill of the one, but they've proven to me that they couldn't do it. And I had to give one guy a refund, and it took 2 months for them to refund his money. I ended up refunding out of my own pocket. So I think he's got refunded twice, which that's fine. And I'm still going to send him free shirts, because I feel bad that he bought that much merch and never got it. So I'm going to make it right. He's got paid twice, and he's going to get shirts.
Well, I just had these made. These are for my PRI shirts.
Oh, man. So I want to go to PRI so bad, but I broke the car. So not going to happen.
And
my PRI money went into that transmission.
But that embroidery on those shirts are $14 a piece. And embroidery, I think I can get it down to like $5 per shirt, something like that. Yep.
That's generally about what they'll charge, is $5 for the embroidery. But I can always get the shirts cheaper. That's the thing. Is
Yeah. Yeah. This is
buy a few more.
Yeah, this is just buying them off Amazon for us.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's where I learned with these is I bought these more expensive shirts, and people are really big on Gildan. They're like, oh, get the Gildan this, get the Gildan that. And I'm like, nope, I picked out this shirt. I love this shirt. It's comfortable. It's cut different than a regular t-shirt. And I got Finnegan's approval. He likes the shirts.
Oh,
So if Mike Finnegan likes the shirts. He's a t-shirt snob. Then I'm pretty good.
Slingshot. Look for a big bright orange shirt when you're there.
Yeah.
I'll be there all 3 days.
Levi, what were you saying earlier about when winter hits? Did you say that's kind of like you're slow when it comes to videos and you slow down a lot?
So all of my content besides 3 vehicles, all are based around racing.
Right. Okay.
And racing is from March until roughly September.
This is what I've been trying to do, and I have a video idea for you. So in the winter, I've been trying to like shift gears into doing, I hate to say it like this, Uncle Tony style content. Okay, where he tells a story or he gives his opinion on something. All right. So I just did it the other day with that Cleveland and LS head video, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been trying to do a lot in the winter. So here's my idea for you, okay? Earlier I mentioned how Motor Trend blew that LS up, right?
Yeah.
It was actually on an episode of Hot Rod Garage that they do. And it's only like 12 episodes. You should be able to figure out which one. And then you can go torrent it and download it for free somewhere. Not that I condone that. But my point is go watch that episode and then make a video talking about how they fucked up. You're very knowledgeable about the LS platform. You're very knowledgeable about why they blew it up and how they blew it up and how they're idiots, right? So sit down in front of your camera and talk about that episode of Hot Rod Garage. And that's the perfect kind of winter content for you. It gets you content out there. You're talking about something you know a lot about. It links over to Motor Trend in some way. So
if you don't use their sound, you can use about 3 to 4 seconds a clip that they have. If you sneak it in there without getting.
I just don't want to talk ill will about somebody. That's my problem.
You're not ill will about anybody.
You're just giving a different opinion. And see, that's the thing. I made a whole new channel so I could do stuff like that. I'm trying to keep this channel that I'm on now more just get the car going or keep the car going kind of channel. And then I do a lot of other stupid stuff. And I got flat out told by the bigger channels, make a second channel for that. I mean, they said it was cool, make another channel for that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've got content ready to go on it, but I haven't fully launched it. It's out there. But yeah, I'm going to go full bore.
You're not talking bad about anybody.
Right.
Like
that's not the idea.
They're putting bad information into the community. Okay. A lot of these guys that look at Motor Trend and watch Motor Trend, they aren't that knowledgeable. They're looking, and then they get the idea in their head that LS bottom ends are glass, and you gotta buy. This is why all these people.
Yeah, you got to get the Texas Speed, blah blah blah, and this Brian Tooley crap.
They'll buy a perfectly running LS out of the junkyard that they can slap a turbo on and run for 10 more years, but they tear it all apart, and they got to go get all machined, and they fuck it up, and it never goes back together. This is why people do that, because they watch this shit in Motor Trend.
And I want to say, I'm friends with somebody that was just working through a TV deal, and it was a lower level TV deal. And they flat told him, they said, we want you there. We want you to do this. And he goes, well, how much time do I get for each build? All this kind of stuff. And they said, no, it's 100% sponsored. So you're going to show up, you're going to shoot your shots. And then we have a whole production team that's going to not only build the vehicle, but then also do all the cuts, edits, and put the show out. And you're just there to be there, to act like you did it when you don't actually do anything. And I was like, yeah, that sucks. And I know that's what a lot of them do, is they're gone and then they come back and the car's built. But
that's what Roadkill was. That's what Roadkill was for all them years. Like, they looked like they were doing it. And I'm sure Dulcich got in there every now and again to help, but they weren't doing all the work.
And they had a whole crew following them, and 5 different chase cars,
and at least Finnegan, at least when I've talked to him, he's been fairly honest about that, and he's like, no, they do some of it, absolutely, but then they have a whole team. I mean, if you went to Arizona or anything like that, where they're filming while the event's going on, you're seeing what's happening. They're standing there talking to the fans, and there's guys back here doing all the work. I mean, even Derek did put his own hands on some stuff, but he had a whole team doing the rest of it.
I guess that's where my engine.
He's got a guy that does it.
I guess that would be where my engine would shine, Ken, because I mean, it's stock bottom in everything.
I think that's the thing. Put the video out and say you can actually get over 500 horse out of a stock LS bottom end, and kind of title it that way. And then tell them and show them how. Show them what you got. Show them your time slips, everything that goes with it.
Like I said, I want to see that video from you, Levi. I want to go to Levi's channel, Dylan's channel. I want to sit down. I want to watch that video from you. I want to hear you talk about it. I think that would be great.
Send me that video of the hot rod.
Like,
do you have me on Facebook? I
got it pulled up on my computer, and I think – I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's either episode 11. I'm not sure. We'll have to dig for it. There's a post in Sloppy about it, which is where I seen it.
Got my notepad. But I mean,
yeah, they're ridiculous. Look at my junk. It's straight up 200,000 mile truck motor with decapped injectors. The same injectors that came out of that truck that were decapped and clean. Elgin cam, pack springs, and an eBay turbo.
I mean, that's what my engine made 800 according to the ET slips.
There you go, Levi. Check the private chat, man. There's 2 links in there. One of them's to the Sloppy post that talked about the build and it blowing up, and then the other one is about the actual program on Motor Trend that the episode was in. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And that's like I said, once it gets cold out and you can't be in the shop a whole much, talk about shit you know. Talk about shit that you know.
The good thing is it's broke, so I will have footage of that, me fixing it. But like until I get all the parts here, I can't do anything.
Well, but you can talk about it, and you can show them how you did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, dude. Like
I mean, OJ even wrote a book about how he did it when he claimed he didn't do it. So, I mean, anybody can write.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, here's another one. Tony was super impressed that you got your damn car to do what it's doing. Talk about how you made it do what it's doing. Do a whole video on it. Like, how I made suspension that isn't supposed to work. Do this. And then have the thumbnail, a picture of your time slip,
You're getting good times out of a big car.
Yeah, with a crappy suspension. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I guess I could do that videos. I'm not a good explainer. I don't talk very well.
You don't have to.
Then what the best thing to do for that?
Don't put a lot of emphasis on trying to get it scripted and right. And again, watching the bigger YouTubers, I learned half of it is whether it's your phone or your camera, whatever you're using. You kind of get out what you want to say, and then you do the thing you're about to do. You get it done, and you can film while you're doing it. Dalton is completely like renegade when he does it. He's got his camera out, and he might shoot a couple of time lapses, but for the rest of it, he'll go, okay, well, we just spent an hour doing this. You didn't see it, but we did it, and here's the result. That's not how I do a video, but that's how he does it, and he's got 150,000 subs, so
yeah,
it's working.
I guess that's fair.
And there's a lot of people that will say, I wish you would have shown how you did it. And he says, there's thousands of videos showing you how to do brakes. There's another 1,000 showing you how to fix a carb. There's another, he's just getting you from point A to point B. And so he's kind of a storyteller instead of an actual mechanic. He is a mechanic, no doubt, but it's how you want to do it. And I think taking the idea without talking bad necessarily, just saying, hey, there's different people out there saying you can't do this with a stock bottom end. Let me show you what I did and how I did it. And yeah, yours is broke, but tell them why. Tell them how you broke it.
Yeah.
Well, Spotty Mustangs or something. I don't know.
And you explained shit fine. You explained to Tony your whole setup.
Oh yeah,
and he understood
Just fine.
every word
No
of it.
issues.
And we
the
all
guys
understood
that
every
want to
word of
build
it.
one will know what you're saying.
You explained shit just fine.
Yeah.
Well, how I'll explain it broke was when it all began, when we put the motor in the car and tried getting it running, the O-ring for the oil pump was sliced. So there's no oil pressure. We didn't know it. We didn't know it was sliced. So we're sitting there trying to figure out. So it's got 10 minutes of the engine actually idling, running, revving, trying to figure out why I don't have oil pressure.
Perfect.
And it
Yes.
lasted 4 years, over 10 pounds of boost. So,
Yep. I'm going to, first time I turbo this van, we're going to watch all of the oil eject out of it. And we're going to find every single, spot where oil is going to come out of it. And then, I don't know, a lot of RTV later, we'll throw it back together and see what happens.
engine is it?
4.3.
Oh, I guess.
Hey man,
It came in the van. So did I?
A GM put a turbo on them things factory. You'll be fine.
Exactly. So the way I looked at it was everybody goes, well, you just small block or LS swap it. I'm like, I can, but before I do that, let me do this first because I
It'd be way more fun to
blow
build,
it up and then swap it.
Yeah, build it, blow it up, and then do the swap you want.
So I'm just putting a Motorcraft 2-barrel. I've got the different float in it, so the different, so it doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
And I got a Mercruiser 4.3 distributor setup. Like we're going super simple, and then just charge pipe, wastegate, and turbo off whatever that Chinese site is. And everything's here now. I've got everything in my hands. I now have. I think I moved it.
Do you have a blow off valve?
I now
too?
have the all the different brackets.
You don't
and
need a
shit.
stinking blow off valve.
Well, I was just thinking the back spinning the turbo, but I mean, with what
I
you're
do
doing,
not-
you probably don't care.
I did not purchase a blow off valve, but I do have wastegate and all that. So
You'd be all right.
yeah, it'll be fine. It's carb.
I got all the stuff to put the turbo on my Iron Duke. So
Yeah, I guess I'm always in the mindset of race cars. So like when people start talking about like builds like what you're talking about, it's like, oh, you need this and this and this. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're just wanting to go out and have fun and do burnouts.
I'm just going to go out.
He just wants to do 6 pounds of boost on a 4.3. Yeah, who gives
Yeah,
a shit?
I bought the little locker. We were going to Lincoln locker it before we went to No Name, and Chad didn't want to go through all that. We had enough trouble putting 235s on those 9-inch rims, setting them on fire and stuff. So it's like, I was like, let's Lincoln locker the back end before we go. And he's like, nah, I just don't want to do it. And it's his welder. I'm not going to, whatever. So he did a 1-wheel peel at No Name, but I've got the spool now, the mini spool. So not only are we going to destroy the engine, maybe the 700 R4 that's in it, but definitely the rear end. It's already unhappy because I took it after that burnout to Arizona and back, and it's making some funny noises back there now.
Turn the music up louder. You're fine.
It doesn't have a radio.
hey Doc, do you mind if I plug my Facebook page real quick?
No, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
All right.
Your
Cool.
cuts in. Yeah, your cuts in. Go ahead.
Oh no, well yeah, that too. All right, so we're gonna plug a bunch of shit. Everybody who watches my channel or who doesn't watch my channel, first of all, go subscribe to Tall Garage on YouTube, right? Big thumb up there. But better yet, go to Facebook if you're on Facebook, that is, and check out the Tall Garage a Facebook group, not the page, the Facebook group, right? And in there's exciting things for you, the viewer. Okay, you get a 15% off discount on your first order from Cut Send, because we have partnered to help you guys do your projects more affordably. Also, there's exclusive Facebook only content, a couple videos in that group for you guys to watch, and it's mostly troll stuff, but I think it's funny. So go check that out. I'd be much appreciated. And yeah, that's my pitch. So
I want to have to use your Send Cut Send. I've been needing a 3D program, but I looked up a couple and my lord.
I got you. I've been using it's free. It's called FreeCAD. And there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube to learn how to use it. And if I learned how to use it for the most part, you can learn how to use it. For example, the turbo parts for my Iron Duke I made on there. So there are no turbo headers for an Iron Duke, so I made a flange.
Yeah.
Got that from Send Cut Send, and I got some Schedule 40 pipe, and I've been welding up a truly masterful piece of art. So
I looked into like some 3D modeling things, and the one company that I went with, they called me back, and I want to say it was over $7,000.
for what?
But I mean, I got like it's a whole program. Like it's probably meant for like a actual manufacturer.
How good are you with computers, Dylan?
On a scale from 1 to 10, like maybe a 6 or 7.
Okay, perfect. Just get you a torrent and go download whatever program you want to test out. Okay, and then once you find the one that you like, you can buy it in the future. SolidWorks is a good one. Expensive as crap, but that's a good one.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, super expensive. Don't buy that. Just don't do that. For the stuff you do, don't do that. Get FreeCAD, think around with it a little bit.
I called them, or I asked to for a quote or whatever, and then some guy called me and was like, "Hey, we're going to put you into one of our subsidiaries. He'll be able to help you." And I'm like, "Why don't you just give me a price to own the software so I can use it?"
Well, nobody wants you to own it anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they want you to rent it. License
I like to purchase the item and be done. And what I found is, editing, any of that, everybody wants their monthly fee. They don't want a one and done.
Yeah.
I'm bad. I bought Adobe Premiere Pro when I first started YouTube, but I've not regretted it ever. It's expensive.
I have. It's crashed so many of my videos that I switched to Filmora, and I wasn't on board with Filmora at first, but it took me about 3 weeks to switch from that Premiere Pro mindset. But once I did, man, I wouldn't go back. For me, it was cost, number one, and number two, it constantly wants to upload to the cloud. Well, I guess I've never had good internet, even though I paid a lot for internet. But Filmora doesn't do that. And I've had Premiere Pro completely lose an entire video several times to where you got to start from scratch. And when I look it up, it all says it has to do with how it's trying to cache a small amount for you to preview and all this. But it's not backing it up to my computer. It's backing it up to the cloud. And I couldn't get it to stop doing that. For Filmora, it does everything onto my laptop because I built this laptop for this. It's a game laptop that then I added. It has a huge processor, but then I added more RAM, more hard drive, and a bigger video card after the fact. And so I only spent like $1,500 on the laptop, but then I spent another $1,000 putting new stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've not had any issues with. I mean, I pay $300 a year for it, but I use it for everything.
Right.
I got Photoshop.
I enjoyed having it.
Yeah.
But after it lost me a couple of videos that I spent hours editing, days even.
Yeah, that would make me mad.
We're done.
Levi,
this one, every 3 to 5 minutes it saves. So I have lost videos and I'm scratching my head, just mad at the world. And if I dig through my computer, I can find the file, bring it back up. It's still there.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Levi, you shouldn't be buying anything, though, dude. You're not making any money on this yet. Don't buy nothing else until you start making money.
Well, I have a job for that. And I mean, even if I didn't use YouTube, I'd still use the apps on it for personal use, like fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the other thing is get dual use out of everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
my GoPros.
Every one of my cars that's in every video is also doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it may be hauling trash to the thing, but I go out and I'll sit and like the other night I had dinner with Dalton and his girlfriend, and I'm like, hey, let's talk about YouTube for about 10 minutes. And all right, thank you for that check. It's tax deductible now.
Yep. That's the one thing I haven't done yet is added this part into my actual business.
Yeah.
Because like I do more stuff on the physical side.
Right.
Like you were saying, the first editing software I had, it was kind of doing the same thing. It would lock up, it would lose videos and stuff like that. I literally, because my office that I use up here for work and everything is on the second floor of my house, I threw that laptop out the window. I was so pissed off that I lost another video. And these were some of my first videos. They all sucked. They weren't worth getting mad about, right? But then I switched to, I've been using DaVinci Resolve since then, and no problems.
I like Justin's idea. I guess you can get Autodesk Fusion 360 for free.
Yeah,
That's what I learned on. I went to a CAD program for a year.
Yep, that's free, dude. It's good.
But I mean, I haven't done that since like beginning of high school, so
But
I don't remember anything.
Not for just tinkering on, dude. Not for just hobby shit. You don't need to be buying anything. There's plenty of free options. They'll do what you need it to do. Like I said, as far as editing software, I have a copy of Premiere Pro 2020 from a certain download site that I've been using the whole time, and it's fine. So
it still works, yeah.
I'd love to make like with that Sin Cut Sin, I would love to make header flanges for weird engines.
That's what I did from Iron Duke. That's what I was talking about earlier. I made a header flange, and then I've just been welding Schedule 40.
And my thing is, if I make them for myself, I can offer them to somebody else, like the program or something, and it helps somebody else build something wild or crazy. Or you could make a few dollars on it and sell the actual flanges. I don't know.
I actually have a product that I want to sell on my eBay. The valve covers I got for the Ford 300 head.
Yeah.
They have standoffs for LS coils, but they're like LS 1 and 2, or they're LS 3 coils. And I bought LS 1 and 2 coils without thinking about it. So it's like, well, shit. And I was like, oh, somebody has to make an adapter for these to put them on. Nope, doesn't exist. So I made my own. Sen should be sending them to me sometime here soon. And so I'm going to try selling them on eBay, see if anybody wants them.
Well, guys, I got to cut out because my 3 a.m. alarm is going to hit me pretty quick.
No, that's cool.
It was
But
good
thanks-
talking. We've never met, but it was good talking to you.
You too, sir. I love all your stuff.
I appreciate it, Buff.
Have a good night, Buff.
Anytime, just let me know.
All right, thanks.
See you
Talk to
guys.
you later. See ya.
Oh, you killed Levi.
No, I didn't.
It's 10:20 here.
Yeah. I don't got to work tomorrow, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I work tomorrow and the next day, and then I'm off for the weekend.
I have to actually go into the office tomorrow. Then we have to go do our yearly Salvation Army toy sorting on Wednesday that we do for work.
I really could work from home if my company would allow it.
Oh, so could I. For 2 years, I did work at home every day.
Yeah.
The only time that I actually have to physically do work is when they send me to a company to work on the machines. Like, that's it. And then do the paperwork. But again, I could do the paperwork at home. But anyway, it don't matter. I'll drive to the office every day because I'm an idiot. But it's better than my last job. So, so could be worse.
Levi or Dylan, why don't you name your channel Dylan's Backyard Garage or Backyard Performance? Like,
well, I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway. So if I call
It's a good pseudonym. It keeps you out of trouble,
I'm going to use it interchangeably, and I apologize.
I don't care.
You need to text me, or I need to text you, and then we can like brainstorm on video ideas or bullshit or talk about how LS and wank each other off. Like, I don't care, but yeah.
I don't know if you can get that.
Oh yeah, I got it. All right, I'm gonna take this and put this up here for safety.
But yeah, I don't know why I chose it. I was actually wanting to do Levi's Performance.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking in my head when I first started the business, I was thinking in my head, I want the name for the YouTube channel to be kind of separate from the actual business side of things. So when my business starts to really take off, I I'd probably call it a subsidiary, like Ohio Valley Race Cars, basically, which is what I was dreaming of. So when we get to that point, the LBP will kind of be its own thing. But for now, it's both.
I've had the same thought. I've been thinking about starting a couple other channels for other interests, and so I'm just going to use like the Tall moniker, and so it'll be like Tall. This isn't even the channel name, but just as an example, Tall Politics or Tall, whatever. So I feel you keeping them, distinct and separate, but still under one umbrella.
The Ohio Valley Race Cars would be purely that, race cars, nothing else. Because on my channel I do other stuff, but not really that much. But
yeah,
most of that channel would be like customer cars.
Right. No, man, everything automotive you need to keep on one channel. If it's automotive, keep it on one channel. You don't need more. You don't need to split up your automotive content. That doesn't make any sense.
No, my second channel, I branded a second channel. It sits there, and it gets like one view a year.
What is it? Like
what's
not what the channel name is, but like what content is.
I just built it to have a second channel so I could set up all the nonsense for it. And I was going to try, see how this video works over here with a different thumbnail, and okay, too much work.
Yeah,
but that's gonna be probably. Because I do a lot of baking, and I can make killer pies, tarts, things, all this.
You seem like the kind of guy that would have them kind of videos. You do, like, you just got the look.
Oh yeah, and I could pull it off.
Yeah.
And then it'd probably do better than my stupid channel, for this, but. But I was thinking about putting all it, the second, like you're saying, whole separate content. Do it someplace else.
Colleen, yep. I'm about an hour and a half from there. If you're talking about Dayton, Ohio.
So you're like Southern Ohio?
Indiana.
Oh, Southern Indiana. So you're what, by Evansville?
Further towards Ohio. Evansville's like past Louisville somewhere, Kentucky. Okay. Somewhat. So yeah. No, I'm not in Ohio.
You should move to Ohio. It's better over here.
No. I don't. I've driven in Ohio.
I can prove it's better. All right.
Well,
how much are your plates for your car?
Hell, I don't remember. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a couple hundred.
A couple hundred. I pay $50 for every single vehicle. Doesn't matter what vehicle it is. It's $50. So we're better right there. Boom.
Did you have to pay $50 twice?
I pay it once a year.
No, I mean for the front license plate and the rear.
No. We don't do front license plates anymore. We just do rear.
I like Indiana.
We're
I'm
cheaper,
in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just saying we're cheaper. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay, so I guess I'm basing Ohio off of the worst of Ohio.
Like what? Give me an example.
Cincinnati, Dayton.
Oh, dude, I'm northwest. I can see the Michigan state line from my front porch. I can see the Indiana state line from my front porch. Like, so Ohio, like, do I really live in Ohio? Like, yeah, but like it's more of just, formality at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason I like Indiana so much is like where I'm at locally, I'm near 4 major cities within an hour.
Yeah.
So it's like a hub, and it kind of always has been a hub for manufacturing and all kinds of other stuff. So I'll never ever have to worry about a job in this area, unless I do something like murder somebody or something like that. Then maybe.
But Anyway, guys, Ken, do you want to keep going? I'll leave the channel open for you, but I'm going to get out of here. So
Yeah, it's 10:30 here.
Depends on what Levi wants to do.
Oh, I'm going to bed.
Sissies.
I gotta get up at 5.
Quitters.
I'm a quitter.
yeah.
All right. Well, we can end it. It's fine.
Okay. Well, you could start up another one on your, everybody go over to Ken's channel. He'll be up all day.
No. I got a book I gotta read anyway, so it's fine.
Okay. Well, all right, everyone. Thanks you guys for coming in. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Yep.
Great. A little less chaos tonight, a little less views, but that's okay.
It's because I wasn't here most of the time, so
that's what it was. You ruined it. You harshed everyone's buzz by leave it.
I did. No, man, I've been having a hard time getting in edgewise. Like, if it isn't Tony who won't, I mean this in a good way, who won't shut the fuck up. All right. I mean that in a good way. I like hearing the guy talk, but I have no reason to talk if he's talking. Like, that's what I'm getting at here. So like,
you got to find the little.
It's hard to get in edgewise,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, bud. And
I'm expecting that video, Levi. I want to see it on my desk by next weekend.